Because I was raised devout, fundamentalist, Baptist, Christian growing up. You don't realize when you're in the faith that you are so primed to accept genocide on behalf of God's will.
And the sick and disturbing part about it is that they are thinking these thoughts, they are believing these things, they are cheering on the end of the world from the comfort of their own homes and the safety of where they are. It will not be until Americans suffer. And I'm talking about not about the black and brown ones. I'm not talking about them. They're still in the midst of an ongoing genocide. America's chief among them of putting on and donning the robes and the cape of a hero, all while being the villain. The fact that America is supporting genocide, and it's not all Americans, because don't get it twisted. The reason why black and brown people have supported Palestinians as we have, and even myself, I'll just talk about myself. I was raised in Christian Zionism, rapture theology, steeped in Christian nationalism. No matter how well-intentioned the Christians are in the South, where I'm from, where I'm at, Christianity is a swim with that nonsense. And because of it, they will literally embrace the end of the world if it could mean that they would be able to stop their current lives and the suffering that they're dealing with under capitalism, racism, and the stupidity of the zealots and the extremists who have power over them. They're willing to let the world burn down just so their pain could end. Because let's just take a second to talk about how selfish rapture theology is, how anti-Semitic it is. How do y'all literally believe that a brown-skinned Jew from Judea, a Jew, who was deconstructing the theology of his time, who took no efforts to create a new religion that we now know as Christianity, who took no efforts to do that, would then return to the earth, not to collect the people that he was trying to help, to speak to better. They literally believe he is coming for the Christians. I don't understand how Christians don't understand that this is an escapist theology that's made popular, and it's popularized amongst the miserable. It's popular because even people as brainwashed, as propagandized, as overtaken by stupidity, as people can be in the U.S. Not all, but far too many. I don't understand how critical thinking and discernment wouldn't kick in. Like, just in your quiet times, when you're just, studying your religion that you claim to ardently follow, that thought wouldn't cross your mind. It's so sad what has become of the memory of a brown-skinned Jew from Judea. That entity, that person, has been zombified and made a puppet of imperialism, corporations, colonization. People in power couldn't best the belief. So instead of besting it and continuing to fight it, they just appropriated it. They appropriated the memory of the person. They appropriated, accepted, and solidified into being a series of thoughts and belief about Yeshua, and they call that Christianity. I think people need to sit and let that sink in. Because this isn't an argument that I'm making that the person never existed, that Yahweh doesn't exist. I'm not making a judgment call about any of those things. What I am saying is that you need to understand what it is that you believe in, the roots and the foundation of it. And I don't care how many sensorial experiences that you've had, because the ecosystem here on planet Blue, planet Earth, but that's a whole other conversation. Just pay attention to my content. But what I want to get back to this, let me digress and then get back to the point, is that Christians need a reality check. I don't care whether you believe or don't believe in rapture theology, but what I do care is that when you sit and call yourself pro-life and you call yourself a Christian and you call yourself someone who cleaves to a belief in Yahweh and Yeshua and the tenets of, at least the stated tenets of Christianity, I care about the fact that you could look at a Palestinian and you could think about Palestine, and you could do it through a very uncaring and same dehumanizing lens that you see people coming across the border. When you see them as not being refugees, trying to make a better life in America, willing to slog out and take low-paying jobs. You don't see them as human. You don't see their children as human. You don't see them when they're in cages and in tents. And you don't see that as being morally reprehensible. But when you see someone fair-skinned, of European descent, you see their demise as something that needs addressment.